Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Wright, and I'm going to take you through tonight's session. With me, I also have my colleague David Hopperstad, and he will be assisting you in the chats. Currently, I don't see yet any academics, but I'm sure they will join as well to help you with any questions that you might have within the chat. So just the introduction. So we are from ADOBH, that's the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. And we focus primarily on just providing you the digital skills that you require to be a successful online learner. Tonight, we're going to be having a look at how to prepare for your tests, mostly focusing on how to use iris invigilation. So for our program tonight is just a welcome, downloading your paper, the steps that you need to follow, uploading your answer sheet, and then we'll have a look at Iris overview and a demo of how Iris works, and also where you can get to the Iris preparation site, and more specifically, how you can actually go and get your do the mock exam to make sure everything is working on your side. At the end, we will go through some popular questions that David will take down through the session. And if there is enough time, we will also allow you to ask any questions. So first thing, please visit this site. So if you're on a laptop, you can use your mobile to scan the QR code, or if you could write down the URL as well. I'm actually quickly going to post the link in the chat as well so that I know you've got access to the site. So I'm going to pop it in here in the chat. So if you've got access to it, this is where we've got specifically the iris guides. But what I want to show you on this site, it's a bit bigger than just how can I say, focusing on iris. This is actually a whole course on preparing for the exams. So we go through the assessment types, the proctoring tools used, all the different proctoring tools is covered, but you only need to focus on iris, and then also finally to how to do the mock exams. Also, there was already a few questions regarding the recordings as well. So the previous recording is already available. So we upload it to YouTube afterwards and then embed the YouTube videos on this page. So you can watch them from here. And hopefully YouTube will use a bit less data than if you just watch the Teams recording. So firstly, make sure that you've got access to the site and that you can log in. The way you log in is at the top left. You just click on the login button. Then you will select that you are a registered UNISA student, and then you sign in with your MyLife email address. Now, this is very important that you are able to sign in with your MyLife email address because that's the same credentials that you will be using for when you're going to download your test and upload your test. So make sure you've got access to that MyLife email address. If you've got any problems with two-factor authentication that was released at the end of last year, make sure you go visit a digital learning advisor in your region just to help you get that account working so you've got access that you are able to sign in. So this is already a good test. Just go sign in. You sign in with your MyLife email address, and then you will be logged in. Once you are signed in, that's when you will be able to do the mock exams or mock tests that we've got on here, where you can make sure everything is working. Now, secondly, this is also a very important URL. This is the HTTPS ://cas.myexams.unisa.ac.za. Now, why I say this is important is have this link available already. Save it somewhere because this is where you're going to download your tests. Later, when you do your exams as well, this is where you're going to access your exams. So save this URL. There are different steps to actually access it. But if you've got the direct URL saved, it just makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to paste that link into the chat as well. So just make sure that you can access that page. and that you can already log in. If you log in and you get an error, for instance, call to undefined user, you can sort it out now already before the exams. Don't leave it to the last minute, because that call to undefined user usually means that your credentials have been incorrectly loaded, but you should not be having any problems logging into this exams portal. Now, I just want you to note here, it looks exactly like my modules, but it's on a different tenant. So, when you log in, for instance, your profile picture won't show. It's actually a different instance that they use specifically for these bigger tests and exams, just to make sure that the system is stable and that you've got a good experience. Now, as we mentioned, if you're going to open up that URL as well, it's going to ask you to log in. That's why I say it's very important to make sure if you've got access to your MyLife email address, you sign in with your MyLife email address. And then on the final stage, if this is your own device, remember you can select Remember Me and you can stay signed in. But if it's a public space that you're perhaps going to be using or a shared computer, always select No. You don't want anybody else to have access to your account. Now I'm going to show you here, once you log in, you'll notice it looks a lot like my modules, except the one thing at the top is it's called My Exams. So on the day of your test, you will sign into this platform, you'll click the drop-down menu and select your module. I've got access to this site, previous one that was created for mock exams, but generally the site will look the same for you. On this page, there will only be an announcements page where you're going to be submitting your test and then additional resources. Now, I want you to take note of the additional resources. A lot of times they upload the question paper or the under additional resources as well, just to make sure you've got access to it. And they also sometimes provide IRIS instructions, any help resources that you might have. But I'll show you where to get it so you can prepare already. So just make note, when you get to this page, this is the page where you will be submitting. This is the page where you can get additional resources. So if the question paper is not under IRIS the assignment, the test that you will be doing, it will be under additional resources. So just take note of that. But else, it works exactly the same as my modules. So if you previously submitted a written assignment, it will be exactly the same procedure that you will follow. So just remember, on the day of the test, you're going to log into the CAS My Exam site. You're going to select the CTA module. You're going to open the test, download it, so you've got reading time. Once you open up that page where you're going to submit your test, IRIS will pop up automatically. You follow the instructions, you start it. Once you've done, you upload to your test site, and then you stop IRIS and it will start its uploading process of all the recordings that it's made during the session. So just remember, you have to do it for each test. So if you're writing, say, 2 tests on a day, say it starts at 9 o'clock, usually you can access it already from 9:30. They give you 15 minutes of reading time. So that's where you already start the IRIS invigilation. Everything is ready. You start the reading process so that at 9 you can start writing. Once you're done, you submit on the My Exams CAS portal, and then you start the submission on the IRIS app. So just make note, these are more or less the steps that you will be following. So for uploading, remember, you're going to be writing it out by hand. They don't want you to type it out. So you will need the PDF scanner. So if you're going to be using a scanner, for instance, that's connected to a desktop or a laptop, you can use that. If you don't have one, you can use your phone. Now, a good app that I would suggest is OneDrive. It's got a built-in tool to scan into PDF. So download the app already. You sign in with your MyLife email. You've got the Microsoft 365 license with your account. So you will have access to all the features. You can easily scan it in and it crops the pages quite nicely for you. So it looks like a normal scanned in script. So then you upload on the CAS, my exam site, and then you submit IRIS. So just remember those procedure when you're going to submit, scan it in, upload it, and then submit the IRIS invigilation recordings. So if you look at the full steps, it will be download the paper. And you're going to start IRIS, and you're going to write out by hand. You're going to scan and upload, and then stop IRIS. So just follow these steps, and then you will be good on the day. Remember, in this writing time, you do get some reading time as well. So you can access, if it's starting at 9, they open it up from 8:30. So it's a half an hour that they give you to download your script, start the IRIS, and do the reading of your script. So here's just a look at the app that I mentioned, OneDrive. So you get it for mobile. It's available for iOS and Android. To install it on your phone, it's got this little shutter icon that you can use to scan in pages. So it scans it all into one document. But I would suggest go and try this out beforehand so that you are comfortable with the app. Now, it might end up, say you're taking pictures of your handwritten one, or it comes up as multiple PDF documents. One site that I can recommend is ilovepdf.com. So I'm just going to type it in here, I love PDF. Not that one, this one. And what's nice about this is you can merge PDF, you can split it up, and you can even compress it if it's too big to upload. Just remember, if you're going to compress the PDF, always make sure that it's still legible. So this is also one tool that you can have, how can I say, ready at hand. If you end up with multiple PDFs that you just want to merge quickly, or you want to convert, say, it came through as photos, so you want to convert it quickly from JPEGs to PDFs, all of that you can do on the site for free, and it's very quick and easy to do. Now, one thing I do want you to remember is closer to the test, they will release the final guidelines. So a lot of questions, for instance, regarding load shedding, all of those are addressed within the guidelines. They also give you step-by-step instructions what to do on the day, when to log in, when to start the invigilation app, how much reading time you're going to get, how much time you're going to get for submission afterwards. So once you get those final timetables, read through those guys very carefully. They give you a lot of information in those guidelines. So let's have a look at the IRIS invigilation. So this is basically a program that UNISA provides. It's a third-party company, and they provide a tool that integrates with our learning management system. And this basically records the audio, video, and computer screen for the duration of the exam. So it actually have built-in face recognition software as well that will determine where you are looking. It will automatically see if you perhaps also detect if somebody is speaking to you. Now, just a note on this one, it will pick up, the sound. So if you've got kids, playing around, or your neighbors playing loud music, it will automatically cancel that out. So you won't get flagged for any of those aspects. It specifically looks for voice conversations. And remember, even if it does get flagged, somebody is still going to listen to it to find out, was it just somebody asking you if you want coffee versus if somebody is helping you with a question in the paper. So just note this invigilation software, it actually it records the desktop. It takes pictures randomly every 30 seconds. It records your video camera, tracks your facial movements, and then it also records sound. So Iris will activate as soon as you open up the assignment submission page. So even if you go to, for instance, the official documents to download perhaps your question paper, you still need to open up the assignment where you're going to be submitting for Iris to get activated, and will pop up automatically. Now, just also a note on this, it takes pictures of your computer screen at random times, usually about every 50 seconds. Now, that's why you will only be able to use one monitor. So if you've got a second monitor connected to your PC, you will have to disconnect it, else you will not be able to continue with the Iris Invigilation. Now, what is recommended? Have a stable internet connection. You must have a laptop or desktop. Remember, this is not a mobile app, so you do need a laptop or a desktop. When you're going to be writing your exams in the regional venues, remember, then you will have to have a laptop. So see if your current laptop is suitable. If not, try and find somebody whose laptop you can borrow on the day. Now, with this, you also need a built-in microphone. Remember, you can't use headsets, so it must also have working speakers, and then also a working camera. And remember to make sure that your system has enough space and also the capabilities to run, at least the official, or can I say the most used productivity tools such as Word efficiently. Because remember, it will be running in the background as another process. This will be saving all that information for uploading later. Now, we're going to have a look at the mock exams. So just note, Iris is a plugin for Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. So if you're using, for instance, Firefox or Opera, you will need to download these browsers and use one of them. I would generally recommend Microsoft Edge, especially if you have a smaller laptop that doesn't have a lot of RAM, because it does use a bit less RAM than Chrome, that quite likes to use all the RAM that's available. So just make sure you've got these browsers installed. If you generally got a Windows PC, it will be installed already. So how to install it? It's very easy. We will go through the steps now, step by step, but you basically go to the extension store. So this can be the Google Chrome extension store or the Microsoft Edge extension store. You search for Iris. You look for the icon that looks exactly like this one. It's also called Iris, all uppercase, and you install that application. So you just click on Add to Chrome or Add to Browser, and it will then add it to your browser. So I'm going to quickly go through the steps to actually do that. So what I want you to do is, as well, the link I shared earlier, I'll share it again. We're going to go directly to Iris Invigilation. So you will see there is a video here that introduces Iris, that also takes you step by step through how to set up Iris for the first time. Now, very importantly here, there's two links on here. And I really prefer that you use the official Iris website. So I'm going to post a link in the chat as well. You'll see they've got a dedicated page specifically for UNISA. And here they talk about the plugins. So you've got the Google Chrome plugin and the Microsoft Edge extension. So there's also the instructions that will give you step-by-step instructions how to set it up. And also at the bottom, they've got all these questions. So if you're running into any problems while you're testing it, have a look at the recommendations here at the bottom. A lot of the problems that you might occur has already been solved within these questions that they have here. But it also makes it very easy to make sure that you install the correct version. So if I'm here, I'm using Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to click on the Microsoft Edge icon over here. You'll notice it opens up the extensions page to the Iris extension. Well, the other method of getting to this would be you click at the top It's usually the top right has got 3 little dots that you can expand for options, and you select extensions. So just right at the top next to your name, I think it's exactly the same in Chrome as well. You click on extensions. It will say customize your browser, open Microsoft Edge extensions. And here you can just type in Iris. So you can use this link that I sent you by just clicking directly for your browser. It will take you there, or else you can search for it as well, and it will come up as the first choice. So once you're on the Iris page, all you need to do is select Get, and you add the extension. So now you'll notice it will pop up that it has been added to your extensions. So what you usually get as well at the top is then this little puzzle icon. So if you click on it, you'll see the Iris has been installed. So you need to do this as soon as possible. You only do this once so that you know the extension is there and that it's available to use for the test. So this is basically the first step of just setting up, is to make sure you're using the correct browser and that you've got the Iris extension installed. So what we will do next is just go through how Iris works exactly, and then also have a look at the mock exam. Okay, so remember on the day of your exam, you're gonna open up your browser, you're gonna go to the CAS exams portal, you're gonna log in, you're gonna open up the module. Once you click on the assessment, it will actually open up. You need to, for the first time, just agree to the user agreement by selecting the checkbox next to user agreement and then click on continue. Now, just note on this one, you do not need to consent for data usage. As long as you click the agree to terms and conditions, you are good to go. You won't be able to press continue if you have not. Now, the first time it will ask you to allow your camera and your microphone, so you do need to allow this. So if you miss this, you'll have to go back to your browser settings to activate it. Now, once you've select allow for both of them, it will start with the initial setup procedure. So you can see there's quite a few steps. We will go through it step by step. It's just where you basically make sure all your information is entered correctly, and then it checks that you share your screen, and then you can get started. So just remember, you will need identification, so a photo identification. Preferably, if you've got a UNISA access card, you can use that, else your ID document, or even if you've got, any official documentation like a driver's license where your photo is on as well, you can use that as well for your ID. So just make sure you've got that at hand. So then it will just make sure that your camera is working, that you can share your screen. Now we will go through the sharing the screen very specifically. Because you need to select the monitor before you can click on the share button. So it's not always that, how can I say, do it for the first time, you'll just notice the share button is grayed out and you don't know what to do, although you can see your screen. Remember, you have to first click on the screen and then select share. From there, you basically write your assessment out on Notepad. And once you're done, you will scan it into a PDF. You will submit it on the exams portal. And then you will say, okay, I'm finished. And so it will start the submission process. So let's have a look at it. So I'm just going to go back here quickly. So if that link we shared earlier, right at the bottom, there's the Open Iris mock exam site. Remember, here you will have to be logged in as well. The first time it's going to give you a message, do you want to enroll? You need to select the checkbox enroll or click on the button enroll me, and then you will have access. So I'm pasting the direct link. Just remember when you log in, it's going to ask you to enroll for the site, and that's just so that you can actually do the submission. So as a normal exam, basically you signed into the CAS exams portal. Now you selected your module. So more or less, this is what you will see. So you will see, for instance, announcements, additional files. Now, there are two types of assessments on here. The one is MCQ, for multiple choice. But remember, you're just going to focus on this one, the file upload version of Iris, because you won't be doing multiple choice questions. So when you're going to test this out, just test it with the file upload assessment. So basically, you will click on this assessment. Iris will pop up automatically. You'll see there, for instance, just loading the iris. So this pop-up, if it does not happen automatically, just go back and then click on it again so that it pops up. So this is the first way you know that your iris has been correctly installed onto your browser. Now, as I mentioned, the first time you're going to access this, it's going to give you this usage agreement. You have to click this box. You'll see this is grayed out. I can't click continue. If I click the first box, now I can continue. So you don't need to select the second one where you consent for data usage, as long as you selected the first one. And then you can select continue. Now, here's what I mentioned earlier. It detects that I'm using two monitors. So I've got two monitors where I've got Teams on the one side, I'm working on the other one. So just note, on the day for the test, you cannot use two monitors. You will have to unplug the one monitor. Or you can just set it so that it only uses the one PC screen. So now if I go back, let me just go back here. Let me reload this. So if I go back to file, let Iris pop up. You just close this one. You go back again. Okay, so it will reload again. Agree again. And now you'll see that message is gone. And that's because I've now disconnected the second monitor. So the webcam, you will have to select what webcam to use. It will ask you for your microphone. Just to verify your microphone, look at the volume that it is working. You'll have to type in your full name. And you'll have to insert your student number. Remember, don't use any dashes, just type in the number. And the first, second one is capture your ID card. So all you need to do is basically just keep it up to the camera, capture the ID. If it looks all right, you can just click next. Now, here's where you need to scan the room. So if you've got a laptop, just pick up the laptop, show the surrounding around you. If you've got a desktop with a webcam, you can just also rotate it around to show from wall to wall, just to show the venue where you will be taking your test. So I've started scan. Let me just scan again. Take that around, and then I can say stop scan. So that's what it will use for the surrounding, basically. So I click next. Now this is the important one where you need to share your screen. So there is even a pop-up here that tell you you have to click the screen before you can be able to click share. So do this, go do the mock exam, make sure that you do know how to share your screen. So I'm just going to click here, share screen. Remember, I have to click on it. As you can see, it's grayed out. I can't click on it. I'll have to click on the screen and then I click share. So unfortunately, you know, it just goes bold. It doesn't give you a very good indication that you have selected it, but the button will go blue. So now I can click on share. So then I can click on next, and then I can start the assessment. So here we've got 10 minutes basically. As you can see, it will track your face. This can run, how can I say, on your browser. You can just leave it open while you are writing. You can even minimize this to run in the background. Say you're using your screen to read the questions and perhaps it's distracting you. Just let it run then in the background. And then here's basically where you will answer all the questions. Now, say it's getting closer to the time, I go and I scan in my document. So what I suggest is when you do this, maybe download this mock question paper as you would do for your tests. You download it. So I've got it open in this tab. This tab is where I've got now my iris running. I can go through the questions, answer them. Remember, you have to write them out. So when you do this, do it like you would do your actual test. So I've now say finished writing my test. So I'm going to scan in my PDF document. I use my phone, for instance. You know, a lot of people, students ask, can I email it to myself? All of that. Yes, you can. You can even submit it directly from your phone. You know, if you prefer, since you scanned it into your phone, it's quite quick and easy to do. So just let it run, submit on your phone, and then once you're done, you can just come here and you say basically finish recording. It will give you this message. Do you want to continue? So it's just so that you don't accidentally, how can I say, click on the finish recording button. You just slide this button over from the one side to the other to activate yes. So just make sure that you get to the stage, you have to slide it over, then select yes. So now it will say, okay, recording has stopped, and it will start the uploading process to their servers. So just let this run. It will give you at the top indication how far it is. And then once it's uploaded, it will give you a successful upload message. Say your computer is running very slow and this gets stuck. What I suggest is go have a look at your MyLife email. They do send you email as well once the upload is completed successfully. So if it feels like you've now sit here for an hour and this is still uploading or half an hour, just go and have a look at your email. Most likely it's already been uploaded and the message has been sent to you. So once you get to this page, this is where you can close this window. So as you can see, I had it open the whole time to run in the background. So I've now submitted successfully. I've submitted, for instance, here I came to edit my submission just before I submitted. So sorry, I skipped this one. So just before you finish it, remember just to come to add submission like you do with your normal assignments. You choose a file from your desktop. I'm just going to take this sample PDF. Just remember, if you accidentally click one of these upload, on the side, remember you need to be on upload a file. Always make sure that you're on this correct page. And then the second thing that I always tell everybody is make sure the name appears here. So here's a sample PDF, because sometimes, especially with larger files, then it can take a while to upload to show the name here. And then if it's not showing there and you click on upload this file, it will give you an error that you have not selected a file. So just make sure the name appears here, and then you can click on upload this file. So generally on the assessments, you will also need to tick, that you acknowledge, agree to the assessment processes. And then from here, you just make sure that it's the correct file size or file type, and then we can save changes. So you'll see, for instance, in this mock exam, it only allows for PDF documents. So if it's a Word document, all of that won't be allowed to be uploaded. So rather get already in that habit of always submitting as PDF documents. But from here, we can go save changes. And then what I do advise as well, once you submit it, click on the PDF again that's listed here. Open it up to make sure you've submitted the correct document. A lot of times, when you're getting close to the submission status, you accidentally select a file that's more or less the same name, such as your tutorial letter, and then that's the one that's being submitted. So once you submit it, click on the link here at the bottom that's provided to make sure that it's the correct file and it doesn't have any password protections or anything like that. associated with it. If you made a mistake, all you need to do is click on Edit Submission, and then from here you can click on the file, delete the file, and then upload a new file. So just note you can always resubmit if it is the incorrect file and you're still within the allocated time period. Okay, so just to refresh on Iris, so remember this only runs on a laptop or desktop computer. You may only use one screen. So if you've got a second screen connected, you'll have to disable it or plug it out. Your computer does require a microphone, camera, and I also suggest speakers because remember you may not use headphones or headphones with a microphone. It's just they need to be able to hear what you are hearing, and also to make sure you don't get any additional information through your headphones. So make sure the microphone is working, especially the camera. A lot of times you come on the day just to find out that the camera is suddenly not working on your device anymore. So remember, on Windows, there is a camera utility as well that you can use to record. So just open up camera, the Windows app, and make sure that it is working and it can record sound. And then remember, you will have to share your screen. So it will be taking snapshots of your screen as you go through the examination process. So this brings us to some of the required devices. So as mentioned, try and get access to a computer that's at least got Windows 10, preferably 4 gigabytes of RAM. It must have access to the internet, be able to run productivity apps, sufficiently, and it must have Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, and make sure it's updated to the latest version. And then, as always, make sure to test the camera, microphone, sound, and Wi-Fi. So you can test all of this by just doing the mock exam. So for this section, I think there might be a lot of questions already. I'm just going to extend the screen quickly, activate my second screen. Now, just a few notes from our previous sessions. What do you do if you need to go to the bathroom or you need to go and scan in a different room and you can't, obviously you don't want to take your device. Just say into the device, the microphone, that you're going to the bathroom, that you are quickly going to scan in your document, all of that. So, because as we mentioned, even if you get flagged, they go listen to find out what was happening at that certain period. So as long as you are open and say, okay, I'm quickly going to the bathroom, for 2 minutes, or you're quickly going to scan in at the end, just make sure that it doesn't pick up that you have left. Now they're wondering what you were doing on the other side. Another question we get is a lot about, noises. So if somebody walks in and asks you do you want coffee? Most likely you will get flagged because it will pick up voice detection. But remember, still the same, somebody will listen to it and they will realize you did not discuss any work-related content. Remember, they have to prove academic dishonesty on their side. Then regarding load shedding, this is one of the stands that's taken by the university. Load shedding is unfortunately your responsibility. So make sure to check your schedule. If you know you're going to be off during that time period, try and get to a place where you can have electricity during the writing period. And also accessibility in terms of, access to Wi-Fi and network. So we know a lot of the smaller towns, the whole network might be going down when there's no electricity. So just make sure that you do prepare for those types of situations. And then in terms of internet connectivity during the process, it's preferable to have an stable internet connection while you're doing the invigilation, but it has been built in so that if it loses connectivity, in the middle where you're writing, it will still save it locally and then upload it afterwards. So don't worry too much if you lose connectivity while you are writing. It will still continue, but you will need a stable connection when you start and when you've finished for the uploading process. So with that, I'm going to hand over to my colleague David Harperstad just to see if there's any questions that we still need to address.
Hi, Richard. Okay, yes, definitely loads of questions. And I think the biggest question that's coming out has all got to do with the handwritten scripts and what the students need to do in terms of uploading their answers. Do they need to upload it onto Iris, yes or no? Do they need to only upload it onto My Exams? So, and then the other thing, again, with the scripts, they're saying, or the students are asking, how am I going to do this? If I'm using my phone, and do I need to share it somewhere so that I can upload it? So it's really got to do with the scripts, Richard. That's what the students are wanting to understand, that process.
Okay. So if we go through it again, so say your assessment starts at 8:30, it opens. So the assessment usually actually starts then at 9. So they give you that, 20 to 30 minutes to download your question paper, and also they give you reading time. So what you do in that time, you go access the My Exams portal, you download the question paper, the Iris will pop up already, so you start getting it ready. You start Iris, you take the time to read, and then you start answering from 9 o'clock. As you're writing, say it's until 11, the first test paper. So just before 11 or at 11, you do get additional time as well for uploading. So you go and you scan it in as a PDF. So yes, the options that you have in that situation. So say I've now written out everything by hand. Now I want to scan in. If I've got a scanner on my computer or a laptop, I can just scan it in on the device. Just scan it in directly and submit it to My Exams. If you don't have a scanner, you will most likely use your phones. Remember, in the exams, you will also use your phones. So use your phone, you scan in each page, you save it as a PDF document on your phone. There you've got two options. You can either email it to yourself, that you can submit it from your computer, or you can submit it directly from your phone. It doesn't matter as long as you get it submitted on My Exams as quickly as possible. Once you have submitted on My Exams, that's where you select stop recording in the Iris Invigilation, and it will start its uploading process of all the recordings. So remember, your answer sheet gets uploaded to My Exams. All the recordings and all those type of things gets uploaded to Iris. So it's two separate uploads that occur. But you don't need to email it to the desktop on which you're running Iris. You can do it from your phone, or but if you've got a scanner copied in, you can use the same device and submit from there. You won't get flagged if you open up your emails, to get the email if you've emailed it to yourself or any, scanning software for the actual scanning process. Hope that helps, David.
Yes, thanks, Richard. Okay, now I see students, because you mentioned the word printing, I see a lot of questions just flooded in with about printing. So the students want to know, can I print the exam paper, and do I need to tell Iris what I'm doing?
So if you, for instance, so you can print it out, or you can just use your desktop or laptop screen to look at the questions. But say you're printing out and you need to go to another room quickly to go fetch the printed out material, then just tell it you're going to the other room. But you don't need to tell it everything. So, you don't need to now say, okay, I'm going to pick up my pen now or things like that. Just when you think you might do something that gets flagged. So say somebody walked in and asked for coffee, just say, oh, somebody walked in to ask for coffee type of thing. Just so that the person that's going to be reviewing it knows what happened in that certain situation. Or if you need to go to the bathroom, where you need to go to another room to scan in your PDF documents. That's the only real times when you will say what are you doing for the Invigilator app, but you won't need to do it any other time with Iris. Thanks, David.
All right, super. Thanks, Richard. So hopefully I see a lot of thumbs ups and smiley faces all happening. So hopefully that means the stress levels are going down a bit. Students, it's a very good idea. Do the practice exam. Use the device that you're going to use for the exam. Test it out so that you get more comfortable. You see how it works. And then hopefully those stress levels will come down a lot. I did see a question, but unfortunately my chat just went a bit crazy because it was telling me a whole bunch of people joining and leaving at the same time. So I'm not sure what happened there. But the question was around, shucks, what did the person ask? Yeah, I'm getting old. What was the question now? Okay, I'll see if I can find it. Sorry, it just sort of jumped away. I know the MacBook, yes, it is supported. So you just need to go download the version that will support the MacBook. I think that one we have covered last or 2 weeks ago as well. Oh, yes. Can I scan to my USB using a printer? Remember, guys, you just need to tell Iris what you are doing. Okay, to say, okay, I finished my exam. I'm going to get my scan copy from the printer, whatever you're doing, so that, as Richard said, the individual or the person that reviews it will actually hear what you're doing, because that's fine. It's part of the process as well. Yes, the student, Richard, we've got a student here who logs into the My Exam site, but then it's given an error, user called not defined. So I think the student does need to contact or email my module 22@unisa.ac.za so that they can sort out the profile. I'm sure it's not because it's too soon. I think that's just a little technical glitch that they must quickly sort out for you. They should respond fairly quickly. So hopefully that can work. Otherwise, I think we have covered quite a lot of the questions because I know scripts was the big one and how that process works. But as we said, guys, do the demo test. It will definitely help you. Oh, yes, there we go. I found the question. The student is asking, can I also use the Invigilating app with Iris or any of the other proctoring tools? So a quick, simple answer there, guys, is each exam will decide if it requires proctoring, yes or no, depending on the setup of the module. And if it does, then they'll only allocate one type of proctoring tool for that exam. So that hopefully then will answer your questions. Otherwise, I think we have covered big time most of the questions, and I see the colleagues are responding as well to the questions. So hopefully, I think we have covered them. Back to you, Richard.
Yeah, okay, David. So we still have some time for questions. I see Naeem, I see your hand is up. Do you want to respond to students?
Thank you very much, and good evening, colleagues, and good evening, candidates. Richard, if I may just add something to your presentation that you had. When you were
Yes.
doing you were clicking on the extension bar, where you in turn show where Iris is allocated. Okay. What I would kindly request you to, obviously, well, I will do it now, is that you ask the candidates when they click on the extension bar to add that to that toolbar. So in other words, pin it to that bar on top. So the Iris icon appears next to the extension bar. Okay, we found in the previous examination that caused some of the problems where the candidates' recordings did not pull through because of that. So yes, just add or pin that to your just next to your extension bar. Then with regards to stopping the Iris, we would rather prefer the candidates to actually finalize your recordings instead of stopping the Iris application. Once you finalize your recordings, you will then drag that arrow across to finish, and you will then click on yes, and then it will start uploading your files. Also, I'd like to mention that when you are actually scanning your actual document in, you actually scan your cover page if you're using a cover page. scan your cover page, and on your script that you are scanning in, please put your student number on each page, just in case one of the pages get missing or something like that. Scan it and put your student number on each page. Also, when you are scanning and sending your document through on the application, which is the IRIS application, you would use your student number, space, and the module code, and save that and upload that as the PDF document. I just need some clarification, Richard, if you could just advise me whether or not with these tests coming up, will they be writing at the regional offices or will they be writing at home?
Okay, so these ones, they will be writing at home, so they will only do the exams at the regional offices.
Okay, that's fine, because there was a question that was posed on the chat. I unfortunately did say that you'll be writing at the regional offices, which is correct. In that the final examinations will be written at the regional offices in terms of the psycho requirements. And that is when they would be allocated a regional office closest to the in closest proximity to where they live. So they will write under supervision at a regional office at the end of the year when they do the examination. Thank you. I think I have covered the questions that I did have. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Naeem, for all that insights. I see there is a few hands raised. I'm just going to take the first 10 hands that's currently up. I'm going to show it onto the screen over here. So,
Richard?
Yes?
Just before you jump in there, I saw there was a student who asked a very good question. Unfortunately, I don't see a name for the student. But if we are struggling, who can we contact? So in other words, for technical support or for the exam itself, that's a good question that was raised.
Okay.
Richard, if I may answer, there is
Yes.
what is called an SCSC, which is a student, it's a contact center, and the telephone number for that contact center is 000001870. And I will repeat that again, 000001870. And then there's also what is called a roaming telephone number, which is actually monitored by the staff of the proctoring side in DSAA. And that telephone number is 011 471 2433. Thank you.
See, I'm still muted. Sorry. Thank you, Naeem, for that information. Please post the numbers in the chat as well. So students, keep those numbers safe. If you run into any technical problems, they've got dedicated teams that's there to support you on the day, so you can get support very, very quickly. Okay, so Ngidi, I'm gonna allow your microphone, so you can just unmute from your side and ask a question.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. I'd like first to request that the information that was provided by the last gentleman to please be at least be provided via email or some way before the exam, so we know which emails, which numbers that we should communicate to when we have technical issues. So that's the first request. The second request is that CTA 1, level 1, is structured in a sense that we are writing 3 tests in the morning session. And as per the schedule that we were given, there's a time allocated after writing all the 3, that is for scanning and recording. So with regard to IRIS, they should, is it allowed for us to write after finish writing, stop the recording, and I think we have a 15-minute gap in between before we write the second test, and then the last, which is the third one now, when we are scanning all the 3, or should we scan after each and every test that we write. I just want clarity on that, or is it we scan everything after the first session, and with Iris actually recording everything that when we are scanning?
So preferably keep it on until you submit it on My Exam. So after each one, you will scan and submit, and then you will start with then you will stop the recording, and then you will start with the next one. So just follow those steps always. So if you say it's at 10 o'clock and you've got that 15 minutes to still submit, so what you will first do is scan in, submit. That's your priority, is to get that submission on My Exams. Then you stop the recording. It will upload automatically in the background, and then you start with the next test.
So the prerogative there is to first scan and submit, and then stop the recording in Iris and start a new test.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Always make sure they've got your scripts.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Sorry, if I
you.
may just come in here, if you don't mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. With regards to the stopping the first session and then continue with the second session on that same day, it is extremely important to do that. Reason being is that during the past examinations, we experienced an enormous amount of queries where we in turn could not find the students' scripts because they were linked to one question paper. So rather finish one test, end the session, start the next session, end that session. And by me saying ending the session, stopping your Iris, finalizing your recordings on Iris, and then starting a new session on Iris. Please don't forget that. Thank you.
Thank you, Naeem. Yes, so even if you're going to perhaps do the mock exam, stop it, let it upload. You've uploaded your mock test, scanned it in, submit it, stop it again, start it. So you know that process to make sure, it must get that successfully uploaded, and then you close it and start a new session. For Rena's spot, I'm going to allow your microphone. Yes. So you can just unmute from your side.
Much for taking my question. I would just like to know if we are able to do like a soft copy, type out our answers, or does it have to be handwritten?
So as far as I know from the requirements from the college is it must be handwritten, unfortunately. So you can't type it out on Word or any of those documents.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosie, you can go ahead.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to ask, what happens if we have load shedding and we have backup, but then our backup is a thing of you have to stand up and go start it. Will that affect you in any way?
Okay, so say you've got your backup and you have to go start it, as long as the Iris is still running. So if you can just get that your laptop, for instance, is still on while you're starting the backup. And remember, if you have to leave to go switch on the backup, it's the same as going to the bathroom. Just say what you are doing. Say that we've got load shedding. I'm going to switch on my backup generator now quickly.
Oh, so your laptop shouldn't go off.
Yeah, preferably try and keep that running.
So what happens if your laptop is like a fridge?
Where it goes off.
Yeah.
So ask, see if Naeem can actually answer that one for us. Will they be able to start it again?
Well, yes, they will be able to start again, but just in terms of replying to the candidate, your laptop has got battery on it, and you're obviously, whilst using your laptop, you have your laptop charging, and your laptop okay, I don't know how long your battery life will last if you have
It
load
doesn't
shedding.
last.
Okay.
It switches off immediately when load shedding goes off.
Okay, so then that means that there's actually something wrong with your laptop in terms of your battery life. Yes, but
Yes.
what will happen is that yes, you will be able to start again and then upload your final recordings, because Iris will then run in the background again. You obviously start again as you would start the examination initially, start the examination again and then continue. When you do your final uploading, it will then send it as a recording. There might be two separate transmissions of the recordings on your Iris application, but there will be one submission of your document on the portal, which is on My Exams. So you will be able to restart. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay. So
Amy.
I won't get it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good news. So if your laptop shuts down, all of that, just restart, and then it will submit the 2 recordings. Thank you, Kosi. That was a very good question. Sanelise, I'm going to allow the microphone.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. With regards to to accessing the exam, I wasn't able to see how you access it. Can we access it on that My Exam? See on the websites where it says My Exam. So can I just click there instead of going to my modules and be able to access it? Because I think I'm more confused on how to access it because I didn't see. I don't know whether it was my laptop that was the issue on how to access the paper. And also with regards to uploading, you guys are suggesting that we upload after each test, right? But now,
Yes.
what if it happens now I finish exactly an hour after that test and I only have 15 minutes to prepare for the next test, so I don't have time. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they said that we do have 30 minutes after each session. So after writing, let's say Mac and finance, accounting, then I have 30 minutes to upload. Is it better to upload after the 30-minute window before the second session of the day? Because in between, I won't have time for that. The in between uploading.
So remember that half an hour is only for uploading. So that's why you should actually try and do it as quick as possible. You can't use any of that time for anything else except uploading. So that's why they give you that buffer space, is because that's where you should be prioritizing uploading.
All right. Okay. So I have to activate Iris for that specific 30 minutes after each session when uploading so that they can see what I'm doing.
So basically that 30 minutes, that's where you scan in you stop writing immediately when and you start the scanning in process, you upload it to My Exams, and then you stop the recording on Iris. So you got 30 minutes to do that. That's 30-minute max. So rather try and get it done at 10 minutes or so that you know you've got some time to prepare for the next session. And then for your first question, so remember, the tests are on the exams portal. So I'm posting a link in the chat as well. So with this exams portal, it looks exactly like My Modules. Let me just go back here. So if you click on the link, you'll log in and it will look like My Modules, except it will say My Exams at the top. So here you will select your module, and on the module, it will be your script or the question paper. So if I close this one, so it will look like this. So it's almost like how you go on My Modules, but remember this one is on this exams portal. So you need to have access to this exams portal. This is where you will access your question paper. But at least I hope that makes sense. So you don't need to go to My Modules and sign into your module. You just can go directly to the My Exams portal and download it from there.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. I love the crickets in the background. Let's see. Nosipu, you can go ahead. Just allow your microphone.
Hello,
Hello.
audible.
Yes, you can loud and clear.
I wanted to ask with regards to a specific issue that I experienced during my sub exam, whereby like the iris would work like throughout the entire exam. However, when now it was time to now finalize the recording, it would start uploading all the different items, and then immediately it would give me an error after that. And then when like I wouldn't have an option like to be able to finish uploading, and I wouldn't have anything under the manage upload and whatnot, so I wouldn't have like any recording. So now I'm concerned because during the exams it was raining, so it was fine, but now when I'm alone, I'm writing at home, and I experience that issue again, whereby when I'm trying to upload, it gives me an error when I'm uploading.
Okay, so if that happens in your situation, so the numbers that Naima is going to share with us in the chat, just have them so you can phone the technical team. Just remember, if you do get an error, always get the error code as well, so they know exactly what they can assist you with. But test it again. Make sure that your browser is updated. Perhaps uninstall the extension, reinstall it, just to make sure that on your system everything is starting from a clean slate. But then do the mock exam. If you still have, even if you have a problem, say when you do the mock exam, you can email us as well. I'll show the email address here. I think I've got it on the last page. No, I don't have it here. I'll put it up now in the chat, the ADOBH email address, and then we will also direct you to somebody that can help you. So go to the mock exam, make sure that you don't get that error. But if you have that error with your examination, remember to have that toll-free number at hand. They've got dedicated teams that will be online to help you out.
Richard,
Okay,
if I may
thanks.
just mention something, please.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Candidates, when you in turn experience a problem, please call immediately. Don't wait till after the examination, because there's very little that we can do after the examination. So if you're experiencing a problem like the colleague just before this mentioned, she had an error, we can in turn assist you in terms of guiding you in real time as to what to do and when to do it and things like that. So like I say, we have a dedicated team that is available when you are writing your examination, from the very first test right until the end of the test on that day. And as the examinations go on, maybe for the second or third or fourth day, there is that dedicated team that is there to assist you and to help you and guide you as you write the examination. So please, when you experience the problem, call then, so that we can in turn help you, and you can in turn upload your script as well as upload your document on the application. Thank you very much.
Okay, but sorry, just a quick question on that part now, because if I'm busy on the phone calling the number with regards to whatever issue that I'm experiencing at that time, and then now it's time for me to start the second session or the second test. So like how will that work in terms of the time now that's going to be taken from the second session that I'm supposed to be busy with at that time, but I'm on a call and I'm trying to get assistance with the first test or the first session.
Remember that you are writing the examination. Let's just say hypothetically you're writing the second exam, the second test for the day. Okay, and that second test started maybe at, let's just say at 11 o'clock. Okay, so you're writing at 11 o'clock, and the problem happens at 11:30. That's an half an hour into the session. So that is the time you need to phone. We will in turn assist you, and maybe that examination is for 2 hours. So at 12 o'clock, your examination writing time ends. So that at 12 o'clock, you then need to do your submission. Okay, but prior to that, we have already assisted you So it won't overlap into the next examination or the next test rather. Okay, so that is why I'm saying one test, you'll complete the test, finalize the test, second test, write the test, finalize the test, third test, finalize the test, and that's how we carry on. But call when the problem happens. Don't wait for after the exam, please, because we can't do anything after that. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks, Asipo. Kilipogile, you can go ahead. I'll just allow your microphone.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Just with regards to that finalizing the exam and writing the second test, finalizing, do you mean that like when we're doing the mock exam and you finished and then you submitted your paper and then it would say, it would do all those things, downloading screen, downloading ID, etc., etc. Is that the finalizing stage?
So the finalizing is, let me quickly go back to this presentation over here. So when you select finish recording, then it will show you this type of screen where it's uploading audio tags, it's uploading audio files, all of those. You let them, so you click on finish recording, it will show you here. At the end, it will say successfully uploaded. Then you can close it and then you can continue to the next one.
Okay, so that was the finalizing station. Then you can open another recording.
Yes, and then you basically go to your browser to the next paper. It will pop up again as new, and then you just do it all over again.
Okay, and then so when I am given that 30 minutes after all, you see session 1 would be 3 tests. So after all of that, then do I go on to to upload my paper, or do I upload after each exam before opening the next exam?
So that 30 minutes that you get is for scanning in, uploading after each session. So do it after each and every session. Upload it to make sure that you've got everything uploaded.
So in the last so in the last exam of the first session, my I should only do finalizing after the 30 minutes of uploading the papers.
No. So as soon as you upload it, you click on finalize.
We don't get this part.
Just to clarify that, is that when you write your first test on that day, and you are writing 3 tests on that day, when you write your first test, you finalize that recording, okay?
Okay.
And then continue with the second one. You finalize that recording and then continue with the third test for that day. You don't finalize all 3 at the end of the day.
Okay.
So after every test you finalize, you do your uploading, you finalize recordings, you get a successful upload. You then have, obviously that is your 30 minutes of submission time. Then you have your break. Then you start your new session. You have your 30 minutes uploading. You have a break. You have the third session, 30 minutes uploading. Finalize your recording for your third test only. So one test, finalize. Second test, finalize. Third test, finalize. Not all together. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Kelly.
I'm not done, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to know, with regards to multiple tabs, am I allowed to open multiple tabs on one screen?
What do you want to do on the other tabs?
For instance, I'd like to already open my email address or pocket or whatever on the other tab, so that when I'm finished, I can just go into my email, because I'll be scanning from my phone, send it to the email, and then I can already just open my email tab.
If I may answer that, unfortunately, that is a no-no, okay? When you are writing your examination, the only tab that's supposed to be open is your Google Chrome or your Microsoft Edge, which is your question paper that you are writing. And where obviously your question paper will be a tag as well. When you upload, that will be the second tab. When you're receiving your script from your phone in your email, that is only when you open up your second tab.
Okay.
Okay. But the only tab open while you are writing is your examination tab, and that is it. If, however, there is a second or third tab open, unfortunately, you will be flagged.
Oh.
Thank you.
So I'm not allowed to open my paper and then the required I can't put on a separate tab. I should just go up and down on the paper or rather just print the paper.
No, you can. You can, as long as it's the tab of the examination, my examination, where you have your required and you have your reading, okay? That's fine. But you cannot have a different tab open for my life email account or WhatsApp or
Okay.
whatever it is.
Okay.
Only your examination tabs. And
Oh,
when you are doing your upload, that is the only time that you will in turn open up your My Life email account to receive your transmission from your phone, your scanned documents, so that you can send it on the portal as well as upload on the application.
okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Thank you.
And then with regards to I was doing the demo and then my confirmation of email was sent only an hour later. Is that a problem or can I redo the demo again? How many times can we redo a demo?
The demo, I think you can do 10 times. So
Okay.
if you need more, you just let us know as well.
Okay.
Oh,
And then
okay.
if it says that my iris is running in compatibility mode, is that fine?
I think that is fine, right?
That's fine. It's running in compatibility mode. That's fine. It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Are you
Thank you.
using Chrome or Microsoft Edge?
I was using Edge because I think you guys said Edge works better. So I just
No,
switched
I
to
would
Edge.
suggest you use Chrome. Chrome is much more friendlier, user friendlier.
Oh, okay. I downloaded on both, so it's fine.
Yeah, so have both, so you're ready. If the one gives you problems, you jump to the other one.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly Bugili. Lope, you can go ahead. Let me just unmute you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. My question is with regards to Iris. I've noticed that with the mock exam, it had a timer 10 minutes. Would that be the same for the test itself? Would it time the test, the 15 and the writing time?
Yes, so you get when you start it will have a countdown of up to the submission time. But obviously it will be a lot longer than 10 minutes.
Wait, so the timer would be 1 hour, 15 minutes for each session, for each test, I mean.
Yes, so usually they include the time that for submission as well. So that's why you have to check also by your own that you finish, that you have enough time to submit. So if it says the first one ends at 11, that you know 11 I start uploading. Even if you still have time on the Iris or the Iris Invigilation app, because remember that includes the additional time for uploading.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I get it. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. Okay. Mamela, you can go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, I just wanted to verify, firstly with when we scan on our phones and we want to send our paper to our laptop for submission, are we only supposed to send it to our My Life email, or can we send it to our other email addresses and we can then open them on the laptop? Secondly, I wanted to confirm that whole setup on Iris thing, do we do it, basically you do it with every test, like the whole uploading ID, scanning the room, you do it with every test, or do you do it once? And then lastly, I just wanted to confirm the step where after you open your paper on my exams thingy, does it automatically open Iris, or do you have to, how do you basically go from there? Like, do you have to open Iris somehow? And if so, how? Because I'm not exactly sure how to open that app. Yeah, thank you.
So in terms of email, I would suggest do use your My Life email. That's the official email from UNISA. So you don't get flagged for, any other, using other content. In terms of how Iris works, so say on this page, so here is the assessment. So once I click on this assessment to access it, that's when Iris will pop up automatically. So you don't need to open it. It should open up automatically on your side. So just make sure if it doesn't pop up, you can always go back and then click on it again and it will pop up again. But it will pop up automatically as you access your assessment.
Richard,
Okay,
if I
thank
can
you.
add something, please.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Candidates, please be wary and extremely careful that if you are using a work laptop, please make sure that you are able to allow, or your company has allowed you to use your laptop for examination purposes, because the companies has put in a firewall and you will not be able to access Iris application, neither will it allow you to use your location, neither will it allow you to do certain things on your work laptop. So if you are using your work laptop, make sure that you have firstly gone and consulted with your ITC people at work, and they've given you the right to use the laptop for examination purposes, and that when your transmissions of your application come through, we will in turn receive all your recordings, your files, your videos, everything will be on there. Because like I say, a built-in firewall is on your laptop, your work laptop. Private laptop won't have it, but your work laptop will have that, and we have experienced many problems with this. So please be careful. If you're using your work laptop, get permission first and let them give you permission, or let them take away that firewall. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir. On that note, can I just confirm if we're gonna do that demo on that Iris demo, is it gonna, like, if maybe there's firewalls and we can't access certain transmissions or whatever, is it not gonna allow, or is the demo just gonna allow us to go through and then we won't be able to pick up whether there's firewalls or we can't have access to certain things or not, or the demo will immediately also let us know that I can't perform certain functions because of the firewalls on the laptop?
Yes, so the demo works exactly like the normal one that you will get on My Exams. Is exactly the same. So you will have the same problems if there is a problem with firewalls.
Okay,
So it's a
thank
good way
you.
to test it. What I can also recommend is if you're going to do say you're going to be writing the day at work on their network, then also test it on the work network, on the actual network that you will be using.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Dimpo, you can go ahead. Just allow your microphone. Dimpo?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. The question I wanted to ask has already been asked by someone else. I wanted to ask if we could send the scanned documents to our emails and so forth. So there was a lady who asked, and I got the answer. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. Let's see. Pepe, you can go ahead. Pepe, you can go ahead. Okay, we'll wait. Let's allow the microphone. Mish, you can go ahead on your side. Okay, so I think we're just gonna, unfortunately, we are running out of time. So I'm just gonna take the up to number 8. And then we're done for today. But remember, if you've got any additional questions, just email us at adobh.unisa.ac.za, and we will respond to any additional questions you might also have. Makungu, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. I just wanted to check with those of us who are not doing specifically CTA. In my case, whereby I'll be only writing one module, one test. So I'm just checking that if my test is completed in the morning session, let's say it is number 3 on the lineup, will my paper be readily available earlier than that, in a way that it will put me at an advantage to go through my paper and everything? Does that happen? Or still, if it is in the afternoon session, you find that maybe it is the last paper, but at the beginning of the session, let's say if the session begins at 2 o'clock, will the paper be readily available for me to read, browse, and everything? I just wanted to check that.
Yes, so the papers are set to open at a certain time point. So as soon as that time is reached, then you will be able to access your paper.
So I won't be trespassing by going through the paper before the time that is allocated for that particular test. Let's say
So you will only be
accounting.
If I may.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you will not be able to access the question paper prior to the examination time, because obviously that will then obviously be a leak in the question paper, because you will have the paper prior to the other candidates writing the examination. So only when your examination time, say for instance, you are starting to write at 2 o'clock, your examination will be available at 1:45. Only then can you have access to the question paper. Thank you.
So, Michelle,
Okay,
so what will happen is, so for instance, this one will tell you it's not open yet, so you won't be able to access it before the time. So if you log into this page as well, so say this one is opening at 2 o'clock and I access this 10 to 2, I won't be able to click on it and open it. But now, say it's 2 o'clock and it's still not, it's still gray. What you need to do is just refresh the page. So it refreshes so it will open up that session. So just another note for everybody, if you go in early and it's still closed, refresh the page at the time, and then it will open up so that you can access that tab.
Hello, I had a question, but my mic was not working. Can you hear me now?
Let me see. Just go ahead. You're very soft, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I did log into my exam and I did Iris app on it. I don't know which time that is.
Oh, Mish, you are very quiet. Can you perhaps type out your question in the chat and we can have a look for it? Oh, there, it's a bit better.
Okay,
So you logged into my exams?
I did log into my exams and I did pin my Iris app, but now I don't know where to find the demo on the website.
Oh, okay. Let me quickly post you the link to the demo. You can access it. So I'm just going to go to the main page here. So I'm going to put it in the chat and then you can just access it from there.
Okay, another quick question. So just to be sure, you said that when I click on the question paper, my Iris app automatically starts working.
Yes, so when you access the assessment, so not the question paper, when you, for instance, this one assignment, once you click on it, then it will pop up for you to get started.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Let's get back here quickly. Niche. Garate, you can go ahead. Let me just allow your microphone or allow There we go. Rati, you can go ahead. Now mute. Anziele, you can go ahead. I think everybody is doing the mock tests already. Tilindele, you can go ahead. I think then we reached the last one, Jack, that we've got time for today. So I'm just going to allow your microphone, Jack.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So my question is around the script, because now I see we've been asked to be writing physically. So I'm asking, can we write on any script, or is it the ones that specifically UNISA would should provide to us?
No, so you can use any exam pad, basically. They only give you paper during the exams.
So it doesn't have to be so I can just get a notebook and then write on it and then scan from there.
Yes, so any notebook you can use for your tests. But during the exams, they will actually give you a UNISA one to write on.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, everybody. So that
Richard?
Yes.
Before we wrap up, there's two questions I think the students definitely, I see it's coming up, trending quite a lot now. It's when I open the Iris app and I click on launch, it opens the bluish Chrome icon. Is this where I'm supposed to log into my exams?
Just say
That's
again.
one question.
David?
The students are saying when I open the Iris app and I click on launch, it opens the bluish Chrome icon. Is this where I'm supposed to log into my exams?
No, they're probably talking about if they go to this official Iris website. Remember, this is where the documentations are, or the plugins that you download. The exam site is at myexams.unisa.ac.za. I'm just quickly going to paste that URL back in again.
All right, super. So I hope
just
that
find
answered the
this.
question, guys. So just carefully go through the website that we've given you, the course site, because it does have the video and it does explain the whole process again to you. So yeah, so that's good. And the other question I think it's also quite important is, can the students have their question paper open on their laptops? Yes or no?
Yes, so remember, if I'm going to start, for instance, the assessment, it will pop up. I will start it. What I can do is I can minimize this. So it will run in the background. So now I can actually read the question paper on here on my screen. So if I go to the bottom, it will still be at the bottom. It will be accessible as long as you don't close it during the session. Just minimize it. I'm just going to close this one for now.
Okay, super. So guys, you can have it open, but if you want to print it out and you have access to a printer, then that's also an option. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we are very clear on that one for you guys. I hope you all heard that. Yep, those were the two burning questions.
Just saw there was another one that popped up here. So remember, if you submitted a script and you're still within the time period, you can submit another one. You just go edit submission, upload a new document, and submit. So you can, once you submit it and you realize you perhaps made a mistake, re-upload it. So please go and do the mock exams, get familiar with it. You'll see once you've done it once, it's actually very, very easy. I'll post a link into the mock exam as well again. Let me just quickly get that link for you. So I'll post this in here to take you directly to the mock exam. Now, also remember the recording will be made available on the site. So under, we've got here webinar recordings. So we have already got the session from the previous session. We will upload this one also as soon as possible, so you can have a look at it. And then just go through everything, test it out. You'll see it's actually very easy to do. So then you can really just focus on your preparations for the tests that you will be doing. So I just want to say thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Thank you, David and Naeem. I'm going to remember you to include you now always. Thank you for joining us and for helping the students.
It's only a pleasure. If I may just add, please, candidates, use the telephone numbers that I've put on the chat whenever you have a problem before the end of the session, not after the session, please. I have put the telephone numbers on the chat, so please use those numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, Naeem. So all the best of your tests. I hope you do very well. And we'll see you again when we prepare you for hopefully your exams. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye and good luck. Thank you.
Bye.